everyone, it's your girl OrigiNatural. I'm just coming at you guys today with like a pregnancy update and what's been going on and the little scares that I've been having lately. First, about, let's see, how far am I? Tomorrow I will be 36 weeks, I believe. I believe I'll be 36 weeks. So a couple weeks ago, my husband and my daughter and I were out eating, and after we finished eating, we sat there for a little bit and we were talking, and I noticed my husband looking at me funny. And I noticed that I was like talking in like super duper slow motion, slurred speech, and then all of a sudden I started seeing like spots, and my hearing was like going, and then my sight was going, and next thing I knew I was like laying on the table, and I woke up. I ended up fainting. My husband, this is while I was sitting down. I wasn't standing, so I didn't fall. Ended up fainting in the restaurant. Like, had cold sweat. I remember sweating, like clammy feeling. And my husband said I was out for like 10 minutes. First I was like, why didn't you call the ambulance? But he was like, from what he was telling me, he was trying to wake me up. And he was praying at the same time. You know, some people might be like, praying in the restaurant? Yes. He was praying, and I remember hearing it, just a little bit of him praying whenever I started completely blanking out, and then I didn't hear anything else. But his voice was the last voice that I heard, and I remember him praying and stuff like that. So we went to the hospital, and I was really out of it, and they did like all kind of tests. They did blood work, everything, which, you know, sometimes in pregnancy you faint, some people, but I've never had an issue with fainting during my first pregnancy or, you know, anything like that. But I've had like blood pressure problems during my pregnancy, and I've seen spots and stuff before, but never to the point where I would blank out. But anyway, they did like an EKG, and a lot of different tests, and they discovered that I had a heart murmur, which I knew growing, like when I was playing sports growing up, that I would be extremely tired and stuff like that after playing, and I was in like the best shape of my life, and I remember my heart skipping beats and stuff like that and feeling like I was gonna die or something. So they referred me to a cardiologist, which I have yet to go to, and we also found out that I was anemic at the same time. The story behind that is I was craving the smell of the Downy noticeables or any kind of detergent. I just want to smell it, not eat it, smell it. But one thing I did want to eat was like baby powder. It's not like I was like wanting to turn it up, but just wanting to taste it and stuff like that. And so they found out I was anemic and my iron was low, so they put me on iron and stuff like that. Also, like towards the end of that week, going into like my 35th week, I believe, I'm not truly sure, I started having contractions, and I was already having like Braxton Hicks, which I can tell the difference because, you know, I've had a baby, and, you know, so I didn't really think anything of it, but this started getting stronger, and like to where it was very painful and couldn't take it anymore. I knew that they were real contractions, and they were 5 minutes apart for consistently, like for an hour, like they say when you're supposed to go in. And I wanted to wait for my husband to get off work to go, wait for him to come get me instead of have someone else take me. But I told my pastors, and she was like, look, we're gonna come and get you, we're gonna scoop you up. And I was like, yes ma'am. So I'm glad that she did come. And so come to find out, they were 5 minutes apart. They were pretty strong. They gave me fluids, like 2 bags of fluid. It didn't work. They still were strong, and then after a while they started tapering off, but they were still like consistently 5 minutes apart. As far as right now, they are 7 to 8 minutes apart, but obviously I'm talking, so they're not as painful, but I feel them. And I also found out that I was 1 centimeter dilated and 50% effaced. So one thing that they wanted me to do was, I kind of understand why they didn't give me the little shot that they normally do to stop them, because it's preterm labor. But anyway, they gave me some pills that made me kind of out of it, and I was like, I can't take them because I have a 1-year-old and I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I can't, take care of her and be out of it like that. So they took me off that, and they put me on somewhat of a modified bed, so I have to lay down, so that he's not pushing on my cervix and making me dilate anymore. So let's see what else. But those were like the major things that was going on with me. And I just, at that point, I knew that I was like, oh my gosh, I might have this baby early. My daughter was early, but not this early. So right now I'm trying to stay hydrated and stay off my feet. This is like the longest I've sat up in a while. So, and I'm really big on like doing stuff and cleaning and trying to get stuff together with my daughter and do things with her. But today I was a little bit hard-headed. I took her outside and walked around, and sure enough, I had contractions while I was doing that, so I had to come back in. But just, if you know a prayer, just pray for my family, and that little Joshua would, stay in a little bit longer, just make it 37 weeks at least. And I'll keep you guys posted, and thanks for watching, and thank you again for those that ask how I'm doing, and I hope you're doing well. Those little comments mean a lot to me, and I want to say thank you, and just keep us in your prayers. All right, bye-bye.